Hey guys, it's Ed Bolian. Welcome to my garage. When I launched my personal channel about, 6 months ago, I did a garage tour, but I thought it might make sense to do another one because quite a lot has changed. About a year and a couple months ago, we moved into this house, and I described it as we bought the garage and got the house that came with it. And that was really the case. We did buy the house for the garage, and it's been absolutely perfect. But over the last week, it got a little bit more perfect because Matt Mormon was here from Obsessed Garage. So I want to show you around everything that he did, and there's a couple new cars to see in there. So one of the best parts of the garage is the fact that my wife's garage and my wife's car stays over here, and there's a separation through this outdoor kitchen with a fireplace, and then there's the main garage that I use, and that has been absolutely perfect. All right, so here we are in the larger of the garages, and this is where I spend most of my time, quite honestly. This is designed to really comfortably hold 5 cars. We can put 7 or 8 in here in a pinch, but it has been just a perfect find. I mean, I never would have dreamt of even building a garage this perfect, and it has worked out excellently well. Obviously, we've still got the Verde Draco LP640 here, and my 09 430 Scuderia is back. It spent the last couple of months at Esoteric Detailing in Ohio. I needed some paint work done because we had some clear coat pull off from some rally stickers on the quarter panel and the roof, but fortunately it is back. They additionally went so far as to ceramic coat, paint correct everything, completely correct, disassemble the interior. Amazing work on the carbon fiber. I mean, you could shave in the reflections on the carbon fiber right now, and the car just looks awesome. So I'm glad to have it back. It's at almost 36,000 miles now, and certainly many, many more to come. One thing that we did since the last kind of garage review and the garage tour was the power openers for the garage doors. When I moved in, these were totally manuals. There were pins and everything, and you had to come in here, unlock the doors, and then manually open them up to bring a car in or out. And they're very pretty, they're somewhat functional, but that was really, really annoying. And so I looked into several different solutions, and the best one I found was these LiftMaster arms. And so you'll still see a lot of exposed wiring, so we're still kind of iterating through exactly how to arrange these, what angles work the best, but it's working very, very well, and eventually we're gonna hide everything and make it look a little bit more dialed in, as Matt might say. But that was really, really a lot of fun, but obviously everything else in the garage has changed. And before we talk about the last week of what we've been doing with Obsessed Garage, there are a couple new cars to introduce, and they're both mine for now, but this one won't be for long. This is a 2006 Lamborghini Murcielago Roadster. It is a Rancio Atlas over a cream and orange interior, and it is not going to be mine for terribly long. I was actually offered the car probably a month ago, and the guy had a pretty ambitious asking price, and I wasn't interested in that, but I was interested, as always, in having another Lamborghini. And so we went back and forth a little bit, and I won't say exactly how cheap it was, but it was the cheapest Murcielago on earth, and I'll just say, we met right smack dab in the middle. And I thought it might be a cool novelty to have sort of the exact opposite of my LP640 in this car, an early car, a Roadster, E-Gear, orange, bright, everything crazy. But when it got here, I realized that a good friend of mine might enjoy it just a bit more. So you're going to start to see this car an awful lot on YouTube, and I think it's headed out of here sometime later this week. But the car next to it is also a 2006 Lamborghini, and I believe it is one of just 76 U.S. manual Gallardo Spyders. And I recently bought this car. It is also the cheapest of its kind, the cheapest Gallardo in the world. Bought it for $59,000, and I'm going to tell you an awful lot more about this car over the next couple of months because I'm going to use it in a collaborative project with Tavares and Hoovy. So you'll hear a lot more about that. But the reason it was cheap, and in spite of being a stick and a lot of desirable things, it's only got 12,000 miles, is that it was in a flood. So there's a water line on the seat. It runs like absolute garbage, and I don't know exactly what it's going to take to get it to work properly, but we're going to find out over the next few weeks. For most of last year, I had the CL, the 02 salvage title S55 from the 2904, and the Brock Yates Audi parked across the back here. But the Audi and the S55 are actually headed to the Miles Through Time Museum, probably along with the CL55. They wanted to display the Cannonball cars alongside, and that'll free me up some garage space. Also, the S65 is parked outside right now, and it is headed to a new home. I thought that I was gonna buy a 2011 Bentley Flying Spur Speed, but I figured out that it needed a little bit more work than I was anticipating. But in the process, I sold the S65, and it is headed to a new home in Utah fairly soon. So I'm on the hunt for a new daily driver. I don't know exactly what that'll be, but we'll find something that's either really, really cool or maybe even a little bit disposable. Around us is everything new about the garage, and over the last week, Matt and his team from Obsessed Garage have totally transformed this place, and it's been an amazing adventure. And honestly, I didn't know if it was going to be this drastic a difference, but at this point, everything has changed about the garage. If you remember from the last video, it was all normal household canned lights, very yellow walls, painted and stained and scratched floors, nothing like this. And so I talked to Matt several months ago, and I told him, how would you like to come and do kind of a project in my garage? And he said, man, that sounds like fun. Let me talk to some of the sponsors. Let's see what we could do. And certainly he has delivered. So over the last few days, we have changed really everything. The first thing we did was the lights. He wanted obviously bright white light and a lot of it. And when we changed the first fixture from its very old, very yellow form to this, everything started to change. And now you can see every single imperfection in my cars, of which there are aplenty, except for this one. It's pretty perfect at the moment. But yes, now it is, you could detail anything in here, you could do anything in here, but it is definitely a whole lot easier to see. From there, we went to the floors. And so we went with Swiss Trax flooring. So these are 16-inch tiles, and you install them and then you cut the edges, and it came out great. You can let dust and water and anything else just pass right through them. There are floor drains in the garage here, and so that was a perfect solution to making it obviously look a lot fresher, easier to work with, and they're easy enough to pop out, replace, or clean whenever you want. And so we got about 2,000 square feet of Swiss Trax flooring, and it's awesome. However, it doesn't necessarily transition well. So one of the things that Matt wanted me to do was sort out a solution for this kind of triangular area between these two bays. Obviously, where I park either the S65 or the CL, that tends to be a little bit of an angle to here. And as we were continuing it, it would have meant that these were not exactly at the right angle. So what we did was we used this porcelain tile, pretty economical, that I found at Floor & Decor, and just installed it. I think it was about 200 square feet of that between this and an entry area in my wife's garage. And so that goes into the bathroom here. There's a half bath here and a full bath upstairs. And just was a great solution. And Matt was really happy with it too. You never know when you propose something like that to Matt if it's gonna work. But the other thing that was really useful is when we framed this in with metal just to keep the guideline there to make the tile fit, we were able to set the height right at 3/4 of an inch to make sure that that matched really well and there wasn't a massive transition to the Swiss Trax. So from the flooring, we went to cabinets. And the guys from Sonic Cabinets out in Auburn, Alabama came over and helped us with several different areas and arrays of their cabinets and their tools. And so now I've got tons and tons of storage. Everything looks custom and built in, but it was really easy. We got stainless cabinets. We've got several drawers of their tools, beautifully arranged, ready for me to start losing probably the most important ones of. But I cannot thank them and Matt enough for putting that together. So now we've got all the things that I could ever want to do, the little bit that I do to my cars, which is obviously mostly fluids, easy to reach parts, batteries, and you know, normal electronic stuff for cannonballing. But I love the way that came out. I've now got places for everything. My 5-year-old has claimed a couple drawers for his toys, but it should be wonderful. So that's it just really ties everything with the color scheme together. We've got various shelves for parts, for all of Matt's favorite detailing supplies, meticulously arranged by color and things like that. So I love that. I don't know what any of them do, but I'm going to enjoy experimenting with them, probably using them in all the wrong ways, and probably making my cars a whole lot cleaner. On the opposite side, one of the most conspicuous things is Matt's set of buckets. These are his, I think he bought 20 different kinds of buckets and different dollies and casters and caps and everything else. And this is now his perfect set of buckets. They've got caps, they've got grit guards, everything that you could ever want, I guess, to clean a car exactly the right way. He actually asked that I not get them dirty, but I'm sure that I will. I've never cleaned a car with more than one bucket, but I understand it's the way that I always should have been doing it my entire life. And above it, we've got reels, Cox reels that he likes with special airlines and obviously an extension cord just to get everything everywhere, which will be quite useful. A Prevo pressure regulator, and on the other side of that wall in this closet we've installed a very large, I think 60-gallon Jenny compressor, but weighs like 400 pounds. Way overkill for most of my use, but for the occasional air tool and certainly for filling up some tires, I'm now good to go. But one of the coolest things that Matt does, maybe even the product that jump-started Obsessed Garage, is his pressure washer. I think he said he bought 80 different pressure washers and every wand, everything that he could ever do to come up with this. Now, this is not a product off anyone's shelf except his, because it's components and setups from various companies to make what he has certainly established to be the ultimate home or even commercial pressure washing system. It starts with this Kranzla pressure washer, more Cox reels and special lines, Prevo connectors, a full spotless water filtration system, Mosmatic wand, and everything else. And all together, it makes what is essentially the most convenient and easy to use solution, including a bucket filler, to just pull your car out, blast it off, and do everything you want. Because certainly, he represents a lot of people that want to dial everything in. They want to spend years making their garage perfect, but also you've got customers like me that can just trust that Matt has done all the research you could ever want to make sure that he has the ultimate solution to your problem. And that's really the Obsessed Garage value proposition. Obviously, Matt, by his own admission and certainly valid diagnosis, is very OCD. And so when he says this is the best pressure washer system, you could go try all the others out, but it's actually true. And it came out great, it works great, 100 foot of hose, everything I could ever want. And so for somebody like me that's really just interested in the most convenient solution, the most efficient way for me to spray a car off, drive fast to get away and dry it off, this actually seems like it's going to work pretty well, although I'm sure he shudders at hearing me talk about using it like that. The next thing that we did were these fans, and people ask if they are a certain brand of big fans. They are not. They are like $4,000 each, and I wasn't going to do that, and nobody was interested in sponsoring us for fans. So I found these for like $400 at Lamps Plus. I think they're by Minka Air or something like that, but they came out great. We hung them on 10 feet of galvanized piping just to bring them down a little bit, and they work perfectly. They're whisper quiet and everything that you could ever want out of a fan. And maybe one of the coolest things that happened last week is our 1 million subscriber plaque came in. And so right here, I cannot honestly believe that we ever even got one of these, a 100,000 subscriber plaque, but 1 million of you guys have said that you care about VINwiki, you care about our car stories, and that you want to hear more. So it was awesome to get to hang that on there this week. So it's been an amazing journey. This was an amazing week. Honestly, I cannot thank Matt Morman and his team at Obsessed Garage, especially Mike, who came out to help us install everything. We just had a blast, and I cannot believe what this has become. I loved the garage before. I don't even have words to describe it now. So thank you, Matt. Thank you for all of you for watching. Without you guys, none of this would be possible. And we're going to try to keep telling good car stories, building good cars, and having fun in what is now a very obsessed garage. Shrewd negotiation starts with finding the right car, and the best way to do that is with Autotempest.com. Autotempest allows you to search nationally through all the major listing sites with one search. Autotempest, all the cars, one search.